welcome to Grow, Make, Cook. This is the beginning of autumn and today we are blessed with a lovely warm day, but it hasn't been like this. It's been cold. Our nights are now down to 2 and 3 degrees. The days are, well, today is topping out at about 15 and it's just cold. The real transition into this autumn weather has certainly happened and we're feeling it here in the garden.
Bok, I'm Mandy O. This is Grow, Make, Cook, and welcome to my garden. I grew up in Australia in a permaculture family, but after we got married, Mr. O and I moved here to his home country of Croatia. I am a passionate and hands-on homemaker and gardener, and I love life's simple pleasures. So join me on my journey, and together we can learn to grow, make, and cook.
This is the 4th week in September, Orujan. What I'm doing here is just pruning back my calendula. These ones are actually the same plants I planted last year, not this spring, but the one before. So these guys are really big and mature and they survived quite nicely in the raised beds in the entirety of winter with no protection or anything. So I'm really pleased with how strong and wonderfully they've grown up, and we've had so many beautiful happy yellow flowers which have been feeding the bees right now, which when there is so much less flowers out and everything is sort of starting to wind down, it's so lovely to have something that just blooms the heck out of everything and keeps those bees coming back to my garden. But what I am doing right now is cleaning them up because they have been so prolific and had so many flowers. I've got so many of these deadheads, which is spent flowers, and I don't need this many seeds, and some of them have started to dry. And so because I don't need all of this seed, what I'm doing is cutting everything back to try and encourage more flushes of flowers so that we can keep this blooming going all the way up until it starts to get frosty. This is also a really important pruning job to be doing, and that is just removing anything that shadows out or shades any of my ripening tomatoes. Right now, the leaves, which are used to feed the plant, are much less beneficial than getting light and air and sunshine in there to try and ripen as many of these little fruits as I possibly can before the frost kills them all. Now, I do have some ideas for using up green tomatoes should the frosts come early and we lose all our plants, but ideally I would love to eat these guys fresh, like the ripe and delicious joys that they are. So it feels a little bit ruthless to be cutting things back so completely, but what I really want here is all of the fruits that already exist to just get to the finish line before the frosts stop us in our tracks. This is so exciting. This is the first time I have grown Jerusalem artichokes, which in this part of the world are supposed to be a little bit invasive, which is why I've put them in this raised bed where, if necessary, I can dig out all of the soil and really harvest everything. But I am so excited. They're starting to set flowers, which I'm really looking forward to. I'm told they are these bright, happy yellow flowers on top of these massively tall stalks. I'm absolutely just in awe of the beauty and majesty and upright joy that these guys are starting to really bring to my garden. I think I'm going to have to plant these somewhere else, not just in the vegetable patch, but I think I'm going to have to actually set up a garden bed for these guys, because I'm really loving the architecture and the shape and the dark stems and the broad leaves and these clusters of flowers. I think they're just spectacular. I can't wait to try eating them. It's almost a little bit sad, the beginning of autumn in some respects, because lots of things like these, my lovely cucumbers, which have been good, are completely dead. The cold has got them and they're done. And so the time has come to remove all of the dead plants. They were delicious when we had them, but that time is over. And I'm going to remove these as well. These are my slow watering system for those plants that really like a lot of food, fertilizer and water delivered slowly. And that is to submerge the pots in and then just pour the water in. Now, I have a spot that is empty right here next to my lovely rocket, which I love these fiery, zippy, spicy flavors. And so I'm thinking I'm going to have enough time now to sow a crop of radishes. Our radishes that we seed save here like the cooler weather, so they're an early spring crop usually. But I figure the temperature now is about the same as the temperature that we would have in spring. So I'm giving this a go and hoping that we get lots of lovely tiny little red radishes. I'm just broad scattering these. I'm not doing lines or anything else like that. Just taking a pinch, giving them a good sprinkle across the soil. Ooh, not on top of the leaf, that won't do any good. But just gently sprinkling them, and then I'm just going to tease the top of the soil a little bit, just so that they're in nice good contact with the soil. And then I'm going to give them a water, and hopefully in about a month's time we'll be eating lots of yummy little radishes in our salads. I am so thankful for all of our lovely autumnal harvests starting to come in. I especially love just roasting these butternut squash or pumpkins, depending on which side of the world you come from. But these accompanied with a little bit of our fresh sage, which is still leafing up beautifully and growing strongly. These two things just roasted in a pan. Oh, it's autumn on a plate. But I think that's probably about all we've got time for this week. So, if you like what we're doing, please like the video. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. And if you want notifications, use the bell icon below. Thanks for watching. And until next time then, do widzenia.